Jeep just issued a major recall that could have explosive consequences. I'm going to walk you through the issues surrounding this major recall that affects over 150,000 of their plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, specifically the 2020 through 2024 Jeep Wrangler 4xe and the 2022 through 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe models. There's an issue with the high-voltage lithium-ion battery. It doesn't matter if the vehicle is parked, charging, or driving, there seems to be a significant fire risk. Chrysler is recommending that owners park their vehicles outside and away from structures until this issue is resolved. They also tell owners not to charge the vehicle because charging that battery increases the risk of fire. In fact, having a lower state of charge in the battery that will help reduce the risk until those repairs are made. Back in 2023, there was a recall of a batch of these same vehicles, which they initially addressed with a software update. However, back in June and July this year, 2024, there were 3 Jeeps that had received that update. They still caught on fire, and that proved that the fix was really ineffective. Additionally, 2 more fires were reported in vehicles that weren't even part of the original recall. That prompted the expansion of this new recall to more vehicles. According to documents obtained by NISTA, it appears that Samsung battery cells in these vehicles, they're what's to blame. They're prone to separator damage. So, what is a separator and why is it so important? It's something that's actually inside of a battery cell itself. I've disassembled this battery cell. Don't recommend doing this at home. It's extremely dangerous. But I mention it all the time. There's no lithium metal inside of a lithium ion battery. Instead, you've got different sheets of copper and aluminum. Right here, I have the copper material, and it's very difficult to see in the light right here, but this is coated in graphite. And then if I put this down, I pick up the aluminum sheet. This is coated with the lithium ion based chemistry. Very thin sheet right here. These sheets need to be separated. And that's where this plastic film comes into play. This plastic film goes in between the sheets. If there's damage to that sheet, you'll have a catastrophic failure. But this sheet right here, it separates all the layers, and you can see all the different layers of material inside of this battery cell. Now, personally, I believe that this recall highlights a major design flaw in the Jeep 4xe. You might remember the 2 explosive events from 2023, which I covered in detail in previous videos. In Colorado, a Jeep 4xe exploded, blowing the garage door 30 feet, and another Jeep exploded in Belgium, blowing the roof 30 feet in the air. Both of these failures were linked to the high voltage battery. The Jeep 4xe's high voltage battery is 17.5 kilowatt hours, and it's located entirely inside the vehicle, under the rear seat. This is extremely dangerous, and if that battery fails, it vents toxic gases directly into the passenger compartment. Not ideal in the terms of safety. Take a look at this specific area on the battery itself. It seems there's a bus bar dangerously close to this battery cover. When engineers design high voltage systems, one of the key considerations is ensuring there's enough clearance between components like bus bars to prevent arcing. Now, the calculation for that clearance is pretty straightforward, but add in real world factors like extreme humidity or smoke from a failing battery cell. You can then get an arc flash. That arc flash could easily punch a hole right through this aluminum cover, which is really a recipe for disaster. And that's what we've seen in that exploding Jeep in Belgium. On top of that, there's something else we need to consider. Knee load. This refers to the pressure or weight the cover can withstand before it flexes. If somebody were to step in this area of the vehicle, it could cause that clearance to get too tight between the bus bar and the cover. This is a potential weak point in the design, and it could lead to major safety issues, especially in a situation where the battery may already be compromised. There's a few ways Chrysler might fix this issue. They could update the battery pack control module software, which could potentially be an easy fix. They could also replace the high voltage battery itself, which would be a significant cost. Personally, I hope they address the core issue here, which is the placement of that battery inside the passenger compartment of the vehicle. To me, this is similar to throwing a 30-gallon fuel tank inside the car with the passengers. Probably a worse situation. Even with the recall fix, having that high voltage battery under the back seat is still a serious safety concern. Unfortunately, moving the battery to the outside of the vehicle at this stage in the game, not really realistic. Hopefully they take that into consideration as they release newer models of this vehicle. So if you own one of these Jeep 4xe models, take action now. Don't charge your vehicle, park it outside, wait for some instructions from Stellantis on how to get your car fixed. And I'll post any updates as they come in.